move around, you know what I'm saying? We're actually picking up people who feel the same way we do, and they're moving with us in solidarity.
Yo, what up guys? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live from Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine. And what you just saw were little snippets of protests that are going on yesterday in New York City over the Eric Garner's case. Well, not really case, the Eric Garner situation in which the cop was not indicted. Alright, let me just basically get to what I'm going to say here, get it off my chest so I can cut this off, you guys, and go back to enjoying your merry day. Now let me tell you something. First off, I'm not complaining about the protests. I understand how the people are protesting, why they're upset. They feel they can't get justice. You know, they were a little harsh with the guy. You know, my issue wasn't really just a chokehold, but my issue was that he had him in a chokehold and he was on the floor. I don't see the point of having anyone in a chokehold when they're on the floor face down and there's like 4 of you. I don't see the point of holding a chokehold once you're on the floor, but he was a real big guy. You gotta get him down. Maybe the chokehold is legal or not. Hey, if it's legal, okay. If it's not, then he should get in trouble regardless. But I understand the logic of that small man putting him in the chokehold while he was on his feet. Once he got off his feet, I didn't see the point of holding him in the chokehold anymore. I didn't see the point. But what's interesting here is a lot of people are protesting, both black and white, Asian, Latino, whatever the fuck, Middle Eastern. A lot of people are protesting, and I understand it. I like it. I like the protesting. The protesting is cool. My problem is what's going to happen after the protest. That's my problem. There's 2 things I have a problem with. 1, what's going to happen after the protest, and 2, how way too many people are villainizing police in general. In general. Charles Barkley made some comments like, if it weren't for police in the hood, it'll be the Wild Wild West, and I understand what the fuck he's talking about. I understand what he's talking about. If you're from the hood, you know what the fuck he's talking about. If you're not from the hood, you don't know what's going on. But if you're from the hood, like I am, Flatbush, Brownsville and shit, I've seen this shit. I've seen how people behave right when cops are nearby. You understand? So in a way I know what he's talking about, but my issue is what's going to happen after all this protesting is done. And what's going to happen is everybody's going to go back to normal. There's going to be another black dude killing a black dude. Hey, he might not get arrested. They might not even find his killer. There's not going to be a bunch of protests. Was it Biggie killed? But there was no protest. Interesting. Tupac was killed. They didn't find his killer. I don't think. Where's the protest? Stack Bundles, I don't know if y'all know him. He was murdered too. There were no protests. No one was found. Well, no one even protested for the police to actually find these people. Maybe they're just tiny protests. But you know why those weren't such a big deal? Because in general, when you hear that one of them were killed, like Biggie, Tupac, you automatically assume that was another nigga that killed him. So it's normal. They were in rap beef, this and that, this and that. Probably just another nigga that killed him, so it's normal. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen when a thug is caught killing a thug on camera and he doesn't go to jail? Do you think there's going to be protests to arrest that other thug? You think so? You think people are going to be lying in the street saying lives matter, hands up? He was robbing the guy had his hands up, the guy getting robbed had his hands up, he took his money, shot him anyway. Do you think there's going to be a bunch of protests in the street, even half the amount of the people who are protesting now, to get that other thug arrested? No. There's not going to be. Now, I understand the difference. The police, they took an oath. I understand the oath. I understand it. When you have a badge, you have a certain amount of trust. You get a lot of trust from us. When you break that trust, you should get in big fucking trouble. More trouble than a person who doesn't have a badge. You feel me? So that person should get in a lot of trouble because that person has a badge. And if you don't, you shouldn't be in that much trouble as a police officer would. But my thing is how much we try to make it look like we just care about life. We care about a black life. Black lives matter. A lot of people say black lives matter. But when black lives are being taken by other black lives, this doesn't happen at all. Now, I'm not trying to take away from what's happening, because you know a lot of white people do that. A lot of white conservatives are like, oh, you're going to do all this about the case, but what about all the black people killing? We worry about that after this shit is taken care of. Because right now, the situation is whether these police officers are going to be indicted or not. It looks like they're not. So we handle this while we're here. When this is all said and done and handled with, then we can talk about black on black crime. But that's not the issue right now. The issue right now is this shit going on. After the fact, after this shit, Then we can go to black on black crime. So basically what I'm saying is right now, I don't have a problem with what's going on. I understand it. My issue is what's going to happen after, because we know what's going to happen after. We're still going to be offing each other in record numbers compared to the other races in the fucking country. Stupid people are going to send me the same shit every time I say that. You know what they're going to send me when I say black people kill each other at record numbers compared to other races in America? What they're going to send me is statistics of America's crime dropping. That's not how you do it, dickface. You show the amount of crime committed by blacks and the amount of crime committed by whites, Asians, everybody else per person. That's how it works. So we can even take some, so let's say if 5 out of every 10 black males go to prison, we can take that down to 3. Just because no injustice and shit. Let's say 3 out of every 10 black males go to prison. If only 1 Asian, 1 white, and only 1 Latino basically go to prison throughout their lifetime, that means we're too fucking violent. We're like 3 times more violent than the other races. What's our problem? You understand what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? So if you want to look up statistics about what I'm saying, how we're offing each other at record numbers compared to other people, look at the racial crime statistics. Now I understand you may find them to be biased, because from what I've seen through my eyes, I don't find them to be biased. I've seen this wild shit growing up. But I haven't been everywhere in bad white neighborhoods, so maybe I don't know. But what's interesting is even when you take out some for racial injustices, I'm just talking about crime, I'm not talking about drugs. I'm talking about violent crime, not drugs. I understand a war on drugs is mostly some racist bullshit, because I've seen white kids do way too many drugs. But I understand what you're saying there. But I'm talking about just how per male of the society, we're known to be very violent in this country. And I just wish we had this resistance against the violence we commit towards ourselves as we have towards the violence police commit towards us. Because it doesn't matter who's hurting your people, what matters is your people's being hurt. That's how I see it. So you can lay down in the street, having a dead-end, it's called a dead-end or something, you lay down in somewhere, you can have your dead-ends, you can have your marches, all that stuff, that's cool. But what happens after? What happens after? If you think black people go to jail all the time for killing other black people, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. But there's no protest for that because it's normal, it's usual. What's new? Niggas killing niggas, it's normal. We rap about it, we sing, we dance about it, it's normal. So, that's basically all I gotta say. I just wish we had the same resistance as when we killed each other and the person who was black wasn't found. That's really it. And while these things were going on, there were some white people killed too, but it's not by police, but it's not all over the news because it's not sexy. You gotta remember that too. You know, so that's basically it, people. I'm out. Later. And don't try to hold all police officers accountable for this shit, because if we held all black people accountable for the shit all the crazy black thugs do, we'd be in big trouble.